All right, hello everybody. Hey guys, yo.
Goodbye.
Wait, is that a reference to something? That
No,
sounds...
it's another thing where many of the phrases that you love come from. It's from my friend Garrett.
Oh, okay. I was really thinking it was a Minions thing.
No, he'll be like, goodbye. I'm just like, what the fuck? I love Garrett so much.
Classic Gary, it would seem. Alrighty, we'll start off with our introductions. Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Justin.
Mark.
And you're watching or listening to episode 435 of DangIT Prodcast. Welcome back, everybody. First and foremost, apologies if you hear any type of like bleeding or echoing because of just like just more coming out of the speakers, bleeding into the mic. I would have put my headphones on, but I can't really right now because I'm currently on standby to wait for something that will be at the front door. My dad ordered a monitor with the Black Friday sale stuff showing up. This one's a monitor, and so yeah, I'm just kind of trying to like keep a listen in on whenever that shows up. So if I dip out just real quick, don't be alarmed. Also, shout out to Ibrahim. But yeah, he was saying like, Justin, you're live at this moment. What? Yes, we still have our weekly podcast still going on. I do want to bring it up in the meeting if there's any need to change like the timing for that, just to see if anyone else is available. I do know that we haven't really been anything more than just like a two-man podcast for the past couple weeks. So just to see if anyone else could adapt to it, we'll see if we can make any type of arrangements if need. So, and I'll let y'all know if that does happen. But to Mark, how are you doing?
Good.
I'm sorry. Kind of cut up.
I said,
Oh.
So said, I'm good.
I might, you know, things are normal. We're normal.
Taking care of my wife who has COVID, playing the new Pokemon. friends just sent me an expensive computer. You know how it is.
Oh, it couldn't be me. But yeah,
I told them not to, but they still did.
Well, yeah. So I'll give some context. I'm pretty sure I've talked about it in other streams before. Whether you like probably when you were like outside of it. ComCon just happens according to Abraham. I probably somewhere else, probably not San Diego, because otherwise I would be in the know for that. But yeah, Anaya reached out to me earlier, like within the past like 2 weeks, talking to me about finally like going forward with getting Mark a new PC, because the boy has a lot of passions towards just content creating, just generally speaking, and not even like for himself, just for other people in general. So it's been something that we've been talking about for a while, and he greenlighted it. So it was just about me sending funds to him, figuring out like where to send it, whether it be we mailing it directly or like through Amazon mailing it over to him. And so we chose the latter, and we just been kind of, it wasn't even like low key, it was like high key. Anaya and myself kind of like checking in on Mark to see like if it's shown up at all.
I wonder what that was all about. I was like, they're checking in on me a lot recently.
Hey, you doing all right, buddy? And I was over here like, are you like with it?
And I'm like, you say, how you doing? You guys good? You good? I'll be like, I feel like I was
I'm like, all right.
Hold up. I was like, hold up.
Something sussy about this.
It's like, and then it's checking on people. Then there's, hey, is it there yet?
Is it there yet, bro? We were talking on the side, like in a separate messenger chat, and we were just like, we're waiting. We're waiting for a response. I'm just waiting for him to just be in all caps response to something.
No shot.
No. So I guess it played out like this. Your parents called you out and said like, hey, this is addressed to you, addressed to Marky Mark. And
and I was like, wait, the only people who really call me that are my two best friends, Mason and Sawyer. So I was like, wait a minute. I was thinking like, wait, who else would call me that? Fucking Anaya.
So you really just walked out the front porch / door and you looked at that like machine and you were like, no shot.
And I said, like, my parents were right there, right in front of it. She said, no shot. And my mom said, it's all right to say shit. I was like, you know, not the same thing, but
no, I get it. Oh, but Abraham was following up. Funniest cosplayers in New York anime con. Oh, okay. All right, got you. Question: were you there actually attending? Because I know that New York Comic Con was a little bit earlier. But in any case, happy early birthday / Thanksgiving / Christmas, Mark. We hope that you'll use that with great responsibility. Create all the memes. And aside from that, get booty.
Never has one said such valuable words.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what you'll be doing in the future with that one. But
I can finally play Final Fantasy VII.
Finally, he'll be able to. He can play God of War as well. He can play anything on like PC, Steam.
There are no chains on me.
And then he can also like download like the Epic Games Store as well for any like freebies that they drop in here and there. I get a lot of like games from them just provided free, and I was shocked by that.
I'm no longer separated from any group of my friends that are on PC.
Nice.
Oh,
but Iran was just clarifying that his best friend was. Okay, got you.
Now, to figure out positioning of where the fuck I'm gonna put this.
Next to the Xbox. No, sitting right below the Xbox, if the ventilations allow it.
I was getting ready to say I got it because I know I've got to put this in a place where the ventilation is actually good.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Ram, it's been a long time coming. We've been wanting Mark to just enjoy the content creativity they could possibly produce, but also just, you know, PC gaming as well.
Like I'm not gonna say I cried because I didn't, but I was happy. I was like,
yeah,
hey. I was like, man, y'all are just so nice.
Anaya's he's just that guy, you know?
Anaya is just a good soul.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's honestly, like, I love Anaya. He's such a good person.
Yeah, same here. He's been, I know that he has, like, moments where he's, like, gone radio silent, just for himself, mind you, that's just for himself, for sure. But then he comes back swinging. You're like, whoa! The dude has plans. He's very ambitious. And, hoping to see some more updates on his side as far as, like, making stuff, like, whether it be on YouTube or Twitch, etc. We still got something that's cooking in the back, and so that's still in development, and I'll tell you guys a little bit more about that as we're allowed to say. But I will tell you guys that this past week has been pretty eventful by itself, not just with the like marking the PC, but also just games in general.
Here, I thought Pokemon would be the big highlight of this week.
I mean, yeah, I definitely I got words to say about Pokemon and what's done for me this week.
I've been thoroughly enjoying it.
But I want to talk about something that we weren't able to really talk about last week because we had to watch it like this week. It was actually Black Panther, Wakanda Forever.
That was fantastic.
Yes, it was actually really, really good. I love it. It's a fantastic tribute to just Chadwick Boseman, but also just as a great follow up to that. I think that I mean, I don't want to like continue repeating this like a broken record, but it is kind of like one of those movies that it's a follow up to like a slightly older generation as far as like getting into the MCU.
Well, that's because Black Panther came out when a lot of the older generation was still there.
Yeah.
A lot of the veterans were still there, like Tony Stark.
Right.
And as you see, in the comics, his canon replacement is in fact Ironheart.
Yeah. How'd you feel about that? Oh yeah, by the way, the spoilers. By the way, I'm just gonna tell you guys right up. This is gonna be spoiler talk about Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. How'd you feel about Ironheart?
I thought she was alright. Like, she wasn't bad. Like, I didn't think she was bad. I liked her character. I thought that she was fine. It's like, she's no Tony, but she was good.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. I feel that she's a great character by herself, but I feel like her like donning on like an Iron Man like presence kind of feels like a second-handed type of thing. Like she's her own character, but not like Iron Man, you know?
She's got big shoes to fill.
Right. And I feel like they don't really even like acknowledge that. It's just kind of like her doing her thing. She had like a prototype suit, and then of course like in Wakanda she was.
I'm hoping that they do eventually, like, you know, say that, you know, because like her character in the comics, she's got a huge admiration for Iron Man.
And you know, I'm pretty sure that might be the case as well, but they didn't really like touch up on it because there was like other circumstances going on. So it was definitely one of those things where like, oh, I got this, so I'm going to use it. And then at the very end of the movie, when they actually had to like go fight everybody, she needed also help in too because she owed what was it? Oh shoot, I'm trying to remember like the queen's name. I think it's Redonda.
You know, she owed T'Challa's mother basically her life.
Right. So it only just felt fair for her to just do everything she can to help assist with Wakanda. On the offensive side of things.
The queen died protecting her.
Yeah, that's rough. I feel bad for Shuri because like think about like Black Panther 1 and now this. Her entire like mood is shifted completely. Character like forever changed, not just because she like grew up and got mature, but also because, you know, she finds herself in a situation where she has to she is much more critical on herself because of, you know, T'Challa in the movie passing away and her having to kind of like cope with that. She doesn't really do that until like the end of the movie.
She's doing a terrible job of that up until the end.
Yeah. But then like she gets her mind off of that with, you know, this main mission to protect Ironheart. And then circumstances brought about her being taken to what was the name of the city? But pretty much like with Namor.
Tukole?
Yes.
It was something along those lines of Tukole. T'Challa.
And it's so crazy when they show the shot of the city underwater and how it really just reflects, you know, Wakanda in almost like every facet, as far as like what does Black Panther in Wakanda mean, as Namor's like title mean to his people. It
reminds me of the Golden City of El Dorado.
To pretty much protect their people, because it falls on them. What's different now is the impact of T'Challa's like choices to open up Wakanda to the world, and how Namor is the one who kind of suffers the consequences of that, possibly because people are now trying to like search for more like vibranium, especially when Wakanda is still like hesitant to give their resources out because they don't want their stuff to be weaponized by other people. They rather keep that resource to themselves. It's sad too, because I think T'Challa would do better as far as like trying to maintain like better relationships, because obviously that's what he's been after, but his mom probably isn't as much. And I think everyone else in Wakanda feel the same way.
Oh, absolutely. Everyone. Oh, the Wakandans are just cautious. They don't dislike foreigners. They're just
yeah. It's just like, especially with vibranium, because of what it is, they have to be very cautious about that.
It's a very powerful material. It's like equivalent to nuclear material for them.
Right, and I mean, like Civil War pretty much like highlights that greatly. And also just like the events of like Black Panther 1, when we saw what was it, Claw. He was big on trying to like export that kind of stuff, and it's crazy how like all those past events kind of like have an impact on this current movie, especially with the fact that like Killmonger still has a great influence on it despite his character passing away. Like he's the one who like burned all the herbs to prevent like any other Black Panther from like rising up. So really,
because he's afraid of being replaced because he's whack.
Yeah, so he burned them all, and when T'Challa passes, everyone's kind of like not sure about what they can do.
And that's when they had that's why Shuri has been working on like basically recreating the herb from the ground up.
Yeah, in fact, she actually was focusing on, she was obviously working on like recreating the herb, but it felt like more of a focus on her to make other types of like defensive stuff, such as like trying to remember the name of the group because I love them so much. Every single time they show up on camera, it's great. The Dora Milaje, I believe.
Yeah, you're thinking of the Dora Milaje.
Yes. So she was creating like
play the female warriors of Wakanda. They're like the Valkyries, but for Wakanda.
Essentially, yeah. So Shuri was making outfits and armor and gear for them, and you got to see a little bit of that, like with the dual like blades, knives. And yeah, but they didn't really get the full fit until later on. I gotta say, without that, Okoye was still like serving it up, like in that one shot. Like
very strong, but like she needs to get the edge because they are superhuman.
Yeah, I can't help but look at that shot of her like 1v3 and actually like holding her own, and then like going back to Falcon the Winter Soldier dealing with the now US agent, and he was like, they weren't even super soldiers.
I felt bad for him with that scene. Honestly, I did feel a little bad for him because I was like, that man just got humiliated.
Yeah, I mean, oh, what can you do? But yeah, no, she still holds her own regardless. But obviously, she gets like the cool suit and everything. But yeah, Sherry does recreate the herb. It was actually thanks to Namor for passing on this little just a parting gift for just visiting, which has like some of that material that was used to help kind of like create his people through the generations. And so she used that. She used the DNA of her brother. I believe she used something else as well, maybe some remnants of like the herbs, and then just synthesize over a good amount of a montage to create like an artificial one, and then would preserve that later on. But what was crazy was when she drank it, and she goes into like the astral plane, and it's completely different because in Black Panther 1 we got to see it, and it was really just like plains and overlooking this tree, which has all the predecessors just hanging out, whether in their human form or like in a Black Panther form. But for Shuri, the only person who was there was Killmonger. And I was like, oh my god, they brought him back. That's so cool.
Hey, cousin.
Little cousin. And I was like, oh my god. Nico, my cousin.
Go bowling?
You want to go bowling? Dude, Michael B. Jordan does like great in that character, because he really is just telling it how it is. It's just like, Sherry, like, well, why did you take the herb? I was like, it was just to see my family. You know, we know that's bullshit. We know what you're doing it for. He didn't believe in this place, but he had a reason for it. It was to get strong. He was like, see, I did the exact same thing. So I'm not sure if he'll ever like be a presence in Shuri's life like later on, but I think Shuri resolves that pretty quickly by sparing Namor at the end. It was a pretty intense fight. I like how during the montage they devise a plan on how to like isolate Namor and try to like weaken him a little bit, because this dude's a menace.
Dry skin.
Yeah, so Namor's interesting in the fact that like he has wings. It's a design that they had for his character, just to kind of, well, he was the first one, right? He was even made before Aquaman.
He was. Aquaman is a copy of him, actually.
Yeah. Did the wings come in after Aquaman, or was it like since the beginning?
The wings, I don't believe he even really has. He just flies.
Yeah, but in this movie they give him the wings on the ankles, and he's pretty much able. It's crazy how they like animate how he moves, because it's like he's airwalking. I mean, it pretty much is. He pretty much like kind of kicks off in one direction, and he'll just kind of like bounce off and change his trajectory like with each step. He takes care of like aircrafts easily. What was interesting though, like, and I really like this like point of detail, is the fact that when they devise this plan, they talk about how he will always fall back into the water after like a certain thing and then pop back up. And you know, I wouldn't even really thought about that, but it was a thing of like he needs to kind of like hydrate himself again, essentially, to keep him powered up. So essentially they put him in a microwave.
Essentially.
An air fryer, if you will.
It's something to drive them.
But yeah, no. Like I feel like Namor is just like there's few superpower like folks that I've been seeing in the MCU so far, whether it be Disney Plus or what have you, that have like that they're able to showcase like that level of strength and like agility. I feel like a lot of our characters nowadays are a little bit more grounded, or just learning their powers, like Miss Marvel and whatnot. So they're not quite there yet. Thor, of course, is there. But you know, a lot of our other folks are relatively grounded and are kind of like normal powered. I'm thinking about like Sam in this case. Even though he has the shield, he has his wings too. So he's able to like,
the lack of serum.
Yeah, but you won't really see him like chucking like a spear like that.
And the lack of serum.
Wait, I'm sorry. What was that, Mark?
I said, yeah, you don't see him doing that because of the lack of serum.
Yeah, he doesn't have like the serum. Like US Agent probably can do that kind of stuff, but he's also someone who's can only like travel on foot. So I guess it might be a thing of like, can this character fly or nah? Because I'm pretty sure, yeah, Captain Marvel could like still like hold her own against like Namor in that case, but we don't really see her a lot.
Absolutely hold her own against Namor.
Oh, and there's also like the Guardians of the Galaxy. Together they're all really good. Yeah, so TLDR, like Namor again is a menace, and I'm glad that they didn't just outright just kill him, and we could possibly see him like show up as like a supporting cast later on. Looks like he took that fight to heart. Like he could have died, and he realizes that.
But he's also trying to use them.
Yeah, I feel bad. I hope that his wings grow back.
I mean, the wings, especially. I feel we're too really get into the whole, because obviously he's supposed to be an Atlantean normally,
right?
But in this regard, they've taken upon more of a Mayan Aztec kind of thing, to where they made him Kukulkan.
Yes.
Who is the Mayan or Aztec serpent god of the wind.
Which is pretty cool. I like that. He does kind of move like one, or at least as far as like snakes are involved, as far as like striking, like it's kind of intimidating when he does that. Yeah, I hope to see like more of him, but you know, I guess it's weird because I don't know exactly, aside from just kind of being neutral now, accepting Wakanda as like support, I don't know like his like true feelings after the fact. And I think that's just something
he said it pretty flat out.
So like, listen, like they're gonna help us like secure like our future, so we're going to help them.
He said they're gonna need us, just wait, they're gonna need us.
Oh, I'm gonna. Oh, sorry.
He's basically saying, hey, just remember, they're gonna need us one day.
Yeah. Also, I might need help pronouncing this guy's name. First time chatter. Persog? He says, "Hey man, what's up? Greetings from Brazil. Actually, you have any retro consoles?" Yeah, we got a GameCube over here. Got some handhelds somewhere in the room. Got the handheld 3DS somewhere down here. But I think that's kind of everything I have as far as like Game Boy. Pretty much all the Nintendo handhelds, essentially.
I've got some friends. I've got a friend from Brazil.
Nice.
He doesn't. He really wouldn't like to live there, but he lives there.
He doesn't like to live there, but he lives there. You can call me Purse. Okay, cool. Yeah, I haven't really touched like my GameCube in a while, even though we have like an HDMI adapter, so we can definitely do some games over there. Honestly, there's just a lot of games out there. Oh yeah, before we change to a different topic, so just to wrap up my thoughts about Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. It's great. I do feel like our American character didn't get a lot to do. I forget his name. I don't think it's Agent Ross, right? Ross is the other dude. But he was in Black Panther 1. He had a lot more to contribute in that one, but in this one, he was definitely just one to communicate what's going on like just on the U.S. side. How are they viewing like stuff going on in Wakanda? He pretty much said that like, yeah, I can't really do much. Like that stuff from years back. I remember that stuff. I honor you guys. I respect you guys like big time, but I can't really do much right now. Like my hands are tied. Oh, but Pierce has got the SNES, got the N64. Nice. Very nice. You know, maybe one of these I'll pick one of those up. But you know, I can also just like rely on Phil, just have that on the ready too. You should definitely talk to, well, Motion Man 64 on Twitch, he's there too. But yeah, he's got a lot of retro consoles as well. But yeah, it's a great movie. So if you haven't watched it yet, definitely recommend that. It's like, well, according to the show times, it's like 2 hours and 41 minutes. It's almost 3 hours. It's crazy. Movie's getting longer, so definitely get more popcorn. Ooh, but yeah, that was it for movies and whatnot. I'm still watching Chainsaw Man. I actually really like this episode. It was the one where they introduced like the two other characters. I don't remember the dude's name, but Kobeni is a notable character. I'm pretty sure among many, but people's like reception of her is pretty like hilarious. The death of Twitter. Oh, we could talk about that too. Yeah, people are like perceiving Kobeni as like exceedingly annoying. Rightfully so, understandable. But I guess like her character changes a little bit later on. But I really like this episode because it kind of was, instead of just like pure like unadulterated violence in this episode, it was kind of like a mystery type of thing to kind of give you a different like taste of like what this palette of like demons and devils can like possibly provide to you. That they're all not all just like 1v1, I'm just stronger than you type of fight. It's this one's also a mystery where they get stuck on like the 8th floor and they have no idea how to do it. But the devil proposes this.
Just cut back. You're talking about Chainsaw Man?
Yeah, I was talking about like this episode. I really like it because it deals with a little bit of mystery in it. The ultimatum was like, offer up Denji and I'll just stop all this like looping stuff.
And become one of the most despised girls in anime in one episode.
What I like about the episode as well is the fact that they make the characters a little bit more like diverse than what you would think as like just like maybe a one archetype type of character. Like Aki's like senpai has like, you see like a whole different sides of her like in the course of 2 episodes. We see her in the past where it's like she's super like she's so disconnected. She's lost so many people. She doesn't even like bat an eye for those who smack her for like losing like their partner / family member. And yeah, but it's Aki who actually like kind of brings about like this new personality in her, in the sense that like, you know, you're okay to feel the way you do. You don't need to like keep yourself shut in, and I think Aki's just a great influence on her. But we also see a little bit more about Aki too, because even though he doesn't like Denji or doesn't really accept him, he does need the help. And Denji just kind of sees this self-sacrifice of him, and he's like, god damn, all right, hold on, I gotta get serious real quick, otherwise I'm gonna owe you. And I'm done owing people.
He said, son of a bitch.
Yeah. Yeah, so TLDR on that one. I just like how they're developing these characters, so yeah. I'm just totally looking forward to the next episode. They're still doing really well. They have so much like attention to detail on the animation that just simple idle walking feels different, and it's just like, whoa. Like there's a shot of like 3 of them just like getting out of like one of the hotel doors and walking down the hall, and it's not just like a very simple like walking cycle, it's just them, you see like them shifting weight and their mannerisms just show from that, and I'm like, what the like, did you really need to pay that much attention to this? Like, god. Ibrahim just said like, oh yeah, Kobeni's cute as always, and news about her having the sloppy devil. Excuse me?
I hope you know that character is now despised.
Yeah, I think Kobeni is gonna be hated on for a little bit, but then maybe like a couple episodes like off like heavy season of like a devil like attacking, we might see something better. Maybe. I don't know. I have not.
You know, people are comparing your two right
now. Courage. Is this Courage the Cowardly Dog, but in a girl form, in an anime?
Oh, no. People were comparing her to Sakura.
No. Even Sakura like had some like bit of like resourcefulness in like even like pre-time skip. Like, come on now, don't disrespect her like that, like that. Kobeni's just she's a mess because she didn't even want to be here. She doesn't even go here because there are options where, because I feel bad because according to her, like her fam just doesn't really care for her, moreover they care about like the gifted like younger brother, and they would rather have her support them.
I did feel bad for her, but I was also like, girl, you need to chill.
Yeah, she needs to chill. But I do feel for her because she doesn't even want to do this. She wants to go to college too, but their fam really just told her, you either hunt devils or you just do sex work. I mean, like, what? I was like, bruh.
How does any self-respecting father say that?
I don't know. That fam might be different. She needs like a better social group. Clearly, the group she's in isn't really helping. Ooh, but yeah. So that was Chainsaw Man. Oh man, I still gotta watch the new Spy Family one episode, and I also need to catch up on Andor because apparently it's gotten even better.
I still need to watch Andor.
Yeah, no, I stopped at the I guess for lack of better words, the prison life episode where you find our dude just kind of like now adapting to it for some reason. I think that I gotta critique that in the sense that like this guy's better at being careful and cautious. Why did he just get himself caught like that? It looked like he was on vacation and everything. He got the money, and now he's doing like manual labor. I'm like, what? But I guess I'll see more. But all right, so a little bit of updates in regards to like the channel as a whole. So we're still putting out like episodes on YouTube for Shining Pearl. I got to like really sit down and like get a schedule for like weekend stuff. Otherwise, I'm just gonna be lazy and just do whatever I want, which is okay, also okay. But like, especially with Pokemon Scarlet and Violet out here, I talked about last night, but posted a TikTok about like something I discovered after something got tweeted out, and nah, that got viral. That TikTok got viral. I was like, oh, this is it, Michael Jackson, this is it. And now I'm like, okay, I need to like sit down and really start like focusing that content towards like Violet, as far as TikTok's involved anyway. But still working on scheduling that out. As far as the Twitch side of things, Sonic Frontiers is finished. That happened earlier. Quick words, Frontiers is great. It's the most fun I've ever had in a Sonic 3D game, and I definitely recommend it. I'll tell you, it's not as like performance like depressing as Pokemon Scarlet and Violet right now. That's a plus there. I feel it's kind of weird in its presentation of the characters in voice acting like early on, but it kind of like smooths out like later. But it's just a lot of fun. The open zone roaming is a lot of fun, just to feel that need for speed. The actual cyberspace levels are a lot of fun to kind of exploit like that air dashing mechanic. It's a different way to kind of like skip past a lot of like platforming stuff that otherwise you would see in other Sonic 2D like or even 3D platform sections. And the music is kind of diverse. Like they got like the open world like almost orchestral like vibes to it. Whenever you're going to the boss battles, they got rock and they have different groups like singing songs. You're like, whoa, it's almost like Live and Learn, but there's like 4 to 5 bosses that play this and that do this, and you're like, whoa, I respect it greatly. There's also just a bunch of like lore brought up again. They talk about the events of Sonic Adventure 1 through Tikal. They talk about a little bit about Shadow, but they also talk about like Shadow the Hedgehog in the sense that they talk about the Black Arms. They talk about Styx. Sonic Boom is canon. They wore like sport straps like that on purpose. That's and then they talk about the events of Sonic Forces. Infinite is canon. Everything about that was canon. Your OC was canon. Sonic apparently getting tortured was canon. Bruh. I don't know about the story stuff though, like the storybook ones, like Secret Rings or like the Black Knight. I don't know if they really touched up on those, but assume that they're real. They may have even had a Sonic 06 reference, maybe, but that wouldn't work because they played it out like the Pokemon first movie where everyone forgot their forgot everything that happened. But we'll see. Yeah, Sonic Frontier is great. God of War Ragnarok is still going on Twitch as well. That's been a lot of fun. It's just been, I guess, slow progression in comparison to Sonic because of just like it having like a focus on like the story aspect of it. But I've been really enjoying it regardless because of that, and also the gameplay's a lot of fun too. So I guess all that's left is to talk about Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. It came out on Friday officially for US. I think in Australia they actually came out like the previous day at like 8 p.m. But I was able to do an actual like launch night at GameStop for that. So I essentially picked it up around like 9 o'clock a.m. like the day before it officially releases. I couldn't even like redeem like the points that you would get for like physical cartridges like on the Switch because of the timing of that. You were able to update the patch, so that's highly recommended to get like that day one patch. And we did a stream of it, and we pretty much stopped at 11, so we pretty much like had a good session for the day prior to its official release. It was fun. I gotta go back into those like previous streams and just kind of get clips here and there. But early on, I noticed there was a bit of performance. Yes, there was quite a bit, and I'll definitely address it here. It's not super optimized. I'm gonna be real honest with you. I think some of the Pokemon games have that issue, but this one's a little bit more like prevalent. That it's much more noticeable. Someone was noting the fact that if you pause kind of in between like transitions, like in the opening sequence, especially in front of the school, it's the teachers, the homeroom teachers, and students like running up to them. It fades to black, and if you pause at a certain point, there'll be one character model in a T-pose.
One in a T-pose.
In a T-pose, and I was like, no, there ain't no way. And I kept singing. I was like, it's real.
Justin was the one saying no shot.
No shot, dude. You know what's also no shot? The idea of like looking out to your like students and you have 10 FPS like moving students in the back. That's so jarring, bruh.
It's also true.
I was like, no way.
Because despite all of that, it's pretty good.
Yeah. Aside from that, it's a lot of fun. Like I would still say, sorry. I say it's like the most ambitious Pokemon title to date. In the sense that it's like full 3D. You have full control of that camera. Obviously there's Legends Arceus as well, but this is a lot more in line with the Pokemon formula. But it's ambitious. It's a large world. All the Pokemon are roaming. There are no like surprise like encounters that you would typically see in the traditional games. Everyone's just all Pokemon on site.
On site.
It's crazy. Like just the opening area where like Nimona like shows you how to capture a Pokemon. After that, she's like, "Oh, just go over here. Once you're done with everything, and you just approach it however you like." And I've been catching almost every Pokemon I see. That might change just a little bit as I go forward and just have a lot more ground to cover. But I've just been enjoying pretty much catching one of each type of Pokemon out there. and it's
I've been
probably
catching Pokemon.
what was that?
I've been catching any Pokemon that I can get.
Yeah. I liked also seeing Gimmighoul, that one Pokemon with the coin on its back. It's been showing up in like small places here and there, but you can't catch it. It won't even run either. It just sits there.
If you want to catch one, you can't catch that one. You can catch the one in the chest though.
Yes, you have to catch
They're
like.
they're up in the watchtowers.
Oh, cool. Oh, okay, got it. I'll make note of that.
Several different ones I've been there. I was like, oh, hey, look, a Gimmighoul. Good one. What about? This is where they show up.
Yeah, they say that you have a better chance of catching that variant through Pokemon Go instead. So you can like later on do a transfer, but in the mainline games you just get like the chest, and then you do whatever you need to do to help that one out. But otherwise, I've been catching everybody. I just love seeing how like they move around. Some of them are just moving like independent of each other. Some are in groups as they would typically would. Also finding like little like paths along the way. There's an early path after you get to like the Overwatch tower, like the first tower, where you get to see the town where you're pretty much going. Before you cross that little mini bridge dividing the river, if you follow the river down, you go to a beach area. All the water type Pokemon are over there. You'll see more Buizels there, more Azurils. You'll see Wiglet over there too. So I was like, there you are. Okay. But you also see Magikarp like out in the distance. They're swimming. I'm trying to think of, were there other ones as well? Not that I could think of right now. But yeah, and that was a totally optional thing. I didn't need to go over there, but I got that. And you also see you see Wooper as well, the Paldean form of it. I noticed this when climbing down the cliffside after doing that sequence break that I'll talk about later. There's this like yellow flower patch, and there was an Oricorio there from Gen 5, or not Gen 5, Gen 7. It does kind of pop up like rarely ever like elsewhere, but it will show up like over there. And I was like, whoa, nice. All right.
It pops up rarely.
Apparently, but
it is not in my experience.
Okay. All right.
There was one specific area where I saw a ton of them.
Got you. So I'm a fake gamer. Alert. Sorry, guys. I think it's time for me to hang up my jacket and move on to greater pastures.
This was not my intent.
So you're gonna find me on OnlyFans, actually. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, it's 50 feet.
Guys, I'll give you a closer look at my like fingernail. Nah, it's healed. That's also something that happened. In the most dumb way possible, I bent my fingernail, and now it pretty much just looks like much more fingernail to clip than anything else now. It's gonna grow back to its regular. It's a weird thing where like if you compare like the nails respectively, you see a big like wider chunk that's now available, and I'm like, oh well, at least it's healing. Everyone was asking how. Well, it's so dumb. So it started with like my folks, because I don't really do this. My folks were out on a cruise this past week, so I've been just like doing stuff like on my own, like at home, primarily just working, but typically going out. I wanted to wear. One of the responsibilities is just to get mail like out front. I typically just don't do that, but unless like it's just me at the home, I'll just do it. I just wanted to wear these basketball shoes of mine. They're red shoes, which I love a lot. I got them a couple years back. The downside of these guys is that like they're not like the high top portion of them are not really connected to the shoe like a typical shoe would be. So they end up getting like pushed back when you put your foot in. So in order to like make sure everything's like arranged properly, you have to actually like pull the heel side of it up as you're putting your like foot in. But it's a really tight like grip, or you're gonna need to have on it just so you can like pull it up. So without really thinking about it, I pinched like that edge of it with my thumb and my middle fingernail, and just with the most resistance possible, I tried to like do it, and then I just felt that bend, like on my middle finger. I saw it, and I was like, wow. That was the cleanest bend I've ever seen on that thing.
I'm still amazed you managed to do that to yourself.
Yeah, it didn't rip off the entire thing. It just like, it pretty much detached like that portion from like the adhesive that's there. I don't know the exact term of that one, but essentially it was shaped in a way that just applying like the pressure to it and pushing it back, it just snaps back in. And I was like, oh boy, well, it's back to normal, but I just lost all that material in there. so I just wrapped it, just made sure that like it had time to just kind of reconnect, or just not pry it any open more so than I've already done it, and just let it sit there for like a day or so before removing it, or any type of like bandage or whatever was holding it or preventing any type of foreign material from like flowing in. And it's healing right now, but as a result, because I lost all that material in there, it's gonna have to grow it back. So right now it's just more things to clip later on. Also, Abraham was just saying, Justin opening OnlyFans, I'm getting my credit card right now. But really just got his credit card like right here. Can't believe it. But yeah, so yeah, that's the worst way you could possibly ever get some kind of fingernail related injury. Putting shoes on to get mail. I really could have just like went in flip flops. I really could have just done that. I immediately walked back in and took them off. But that happened. Sorry, I'm just bringing back the documents for what else had happened. I guess there's not really much. I guess I was going to talk about more about like Pokemon, Scarlet and Violet. And I guess the big thing that people are talking about is the performance issue. So I mean, yeah, there's huge frame drops. As we were talking before, things will pop in here and there. There's some glitches to be aware of. Apparently one of them is just like getting on and off of your like legendary bicycle. You get off, you get back on, get off, back on, get off, get back on, and you're just like, you Dynamaxed yourself.
I love my legendary bicycle.
I like the legendary bicycle. But yeah, so watch yourselves, everybody, and be sure to just have the autosave on, unless you're like trying to ensure you get a capture for this one Pokemon. There's a whole bunch of things regarding like shiny catching and like breeding already out there on the internet. I'll share what I can, but I'm still in the early parts of the game so far. I did the sequence break early, and that was interesting because I didn't even think about it regardless. I was just browsing on like Twitter as far as like people's like progress, and Austin John Plays literally just responded to it saying like, hey, you can actually just like, you're in the beginning, so you can actually just open up the entire world without going to like Mesagoza by just hopping across this gap, by exploiting the whole like zoom in, lock on to a Pokemon, and then like throwing your ball at it, and you just teleport across the other side. And I was like, huh, this looks very doable. I feel like I should record like my findings and report it on TikTok. So I did that. And I was like, wow, it actually legitimately worked. I'm getting my butt kicked.
It hurts.
Because, yeah, you're not really meant to go there. You can actually, like, get some pretty good level grinding there if you're willing to stick with it. But hopping across that gap, there is a level 30-something, like, Salazzle. So unless you're liking stepped on, avoid that.
Unless you're into that.
Unless you're into it, no judgment. Watch out. But hey, I mean, if you can like get to that level, I mean, your Pokemon are pretty much close to like evolving to their full form anyway, so you're good. I had an initiative to like just cross it for the sake of just getting the Mastiff Pokemon, Mastiff, which is a dark type Mastiff. and I was like, this is great. It's a shame I got Sprigatito, because otherwise I would. I tried to avoid getting like similar typings because Sprigatito's like final evolution is a dark type, so that wouldn't really synergize well. I'm trying to also make sure that my team is all of Paldean Pokemon and not other generations. Sword and Shield taught me that like with great power it could be very corruptive as well. Excadrill, Sword Dance, Earthquake, you're done. You don't need anything else. Oh, it's still such a menace. That Excadrill like carried me even to post game. It was crazy. But yeah, no, I'm pretty much experimenting with a full team of Pokemon that are of that region. But now that you pointed out, Mark, I probably should focus on getting that Wooper to evolve as well. Clodsire, I think I've seen an image of it, like sprite art of it, and I was like, oh my god, that's different. That is so different. I want to see it.
So cute.
Yeah, so that's curling worm. So I did the exploit, and there's easy ways to kind of like return back. You can like fast travel. You can even like Skyrim your way down like a little small cliff.
You can just jump straight down. You'll grab your phone to prevent yourself from.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, you can do that too. That's funny. So nice little safety net right there. But yeah, having progressed a little bit further, there's a lot to talk about. Mesagoza as like the central city is really cool. There's a lot of repeating stores, understandable, I guess. You don't have a lot of options as far as clothing per se, because you still have a uniform you gotta like abide to. But you can change like accessories like on your face, hats, gloves, shoes. That's kind of it though. And you have different like seasonal like outfits to kind of like match up with like the seasons. Autumn, summer, fall, spring, not in that particular order, but just whenever. And I went with the winter outfit, so you'll still have, depending on your game, you'll have like a fixed color for your like your pants, and maybe your tie, I believe, but your top will kind of be like the same, like button up one, sometimes an overcoat, like for like colder seasons, but yeah, you're kind of limited there. What was it? Yeah, so there's all that. As you go up the stairs into the actual academy, they'll be kind of throwing more quest stuff at you, and there's three main ones. Of course, they've talked about it. They talk about taking down Team Star. They talk about the Victory Road aspect of it. They talk about the Titan quest, because they kind of like introduce you to your 10 FPS students, classmates, and when you're done with that, they'll have you go like to different rooms and everything like that to like talk to other people. And after a good time skip, they'll have you attend this little like outside meeting talking about how it's time for you to do your independent like studies, where you'll find your own treasure, which is just layman's terms for go and do whatever you want. Find your own self-fulfillment, aka follow one of these three paths that the game provided you. And after that meeting, going down the stairs, Miraidon or Koraidon, depending on your version, will pop off and just like tell you like, hey, I want to like join you on this adventure much more proactively, so get on my back. And you just learn to travel like on legendary back from there. And I've traveled west just to go to the first gym leader, so that I can actually catch like higher level Pokemon. Each quest line provides like different rewards for you that ultimately altogether benefits you greatly. The gym badges allow you to catch higher level Pokemon. So that whole sequence break I talked to you about, most of those Pokemon there won't even obey you. Most of them won't. That level 21 Phanpy did not listen. It still won though, but it didn't listen to me. But essentially, you catch anyone below level 20, they'll obey you from the get-go. But otherwise, you're stuck with that team if you decide to sequence break. If you want a good time. And let's see. The Titan quests allow you to do a lot more mobility stuff with your legendary Pokemon, because right now all they can do is just like run around or ride wherever. You can't climb, you can't swim, you can't glide, you can't even like run any faster until you at least defeat Cloth, and then like later on you get the other ones. And then I forget what the reward was for doing the Team Star stuff. I think it was something important. But otherwise, as far as like catching mons and like getting around places faster, making things a lot more accessible to like gain entry to, yeah, those first two, very important. Which is why I think it's kind of important for you to kind of do all three of them like at once. You can just do one, focus on that, but because there's no level scaling in the game, as far as, you know, it adapts to you leveling up. There's fixed areas where apparently the closer you are to the central town, like the smaller the level is, and a farther away will also make it mean that those are the tougher mons slash gym leaders slash challenges. So I'm gonna try to like focus on doing that just so there's not a lot of backtracking here and there. But I would say what I've noticed so far, you might want to invest in a Pokemon that can like help you catch Pokemon easier for those that like travel to other places and find themselves one-shotting Pokemon accidentally. So Scyther's beyond that gap that I was talking about in the sequence break, so if you have access to that, by all means. I think there's even like level 17 like to 19 like Scythers there too, so they can still obey you. So just be on the lookout for that too. Ooh, yeah, that's everything. Oh, something really cool to point out is the fact that they are allowing you to transfer your Pokemon from like Pokemon Bank and as well as Legends Arceus. So Cleavor is accessible. I'm really curious as to how people are gonna try to like best build that Pokemon. I'm curious too, in the sense that like it's a whole different like structure like in Legends Arceus about how like stats are distributed. So they'll have to like work with that. I think it's possible for you to like get a really good nature, do the IV stuff on a Scyther like in Legends, or sorry, not Legends, Scarlet and Violet, and then transfer it over to bank, or sorry, home, and they take it over to Legends Arceus, and then you level it up and then you transfer it back. I want to see, I think you still transfer the Hisuian versions of Growlithe and Arcanine too, as well as Zora and Zoroark, so that's gonna be really interesting to see.
I found a Zora in Scarlet completely by accident.
Oh yeah, that's right. I remember hearing this. This is from Austin John Plays as well.
I also got 2 Dittos today the same way.
Nice. So Dittos and Zoras are actually functioning the same way as you would catch them in Go. You catch a Pokemon like normal, but there's a chance that it can actually be a Ditto or Zora because they have that ability. And I was like, whoa.
You go to fight them, and all of a sudden they just like, it's like, oh, it's this Pokemon. You engage them, they transform back to their normal form. I was like, oh.
Do you know if is there any visual distinction to tell them apart like they did in the anime?
Oh no.
Damn. I think that would be a great touch, but also help.
Complete surprise.
Hey yo, you gotta tell me where that Ditto is though.
The Ditto?
Yes.
I found them by the port town.
Port town?
It's a port. It's a town that's like on near the ocean. The port town.
Oh, okay. Is that somewhere like south?
It's. I'd have to look on the map to be exact.
East on the map? Okay. Got you.
I'd have to look on the map to be sure.
Oh, okay, got you. Because because I would love to be able to trade in like the starters and just start like picking them up.
So I've already got 2 Dittos.
Nice.
You can have one if you want it.
I would love that. Thank you. If anything, just to fill in the Pokedex, and then Nature's IVs I can worry about that later.
I don't even know how to. I don't even know where to go to breed in this game.
That's the next interesting thing. Again, Austin John as the source.
Other than the picnic of a surprise egg.
I think that's the only way. That might just be like, unless they actually have a daycare, then bet. But I think the picnics are the only way. Possibly, it might be the most efficient way too. Well, maybe not efficient, but you know.
I haven't done one yet.
Yeah, I want to try that out for myself, but I think it's a little too early in my game because some options as to like getting like the best sandwiches to even like allow egg boosting to happen or whatever level of that is not available as far as ingredients. I think I have to progress a little bit further in order to get those ingredients like available. Yeah, I'm trying to think. Was there other things? I've caught quite a fair bit of Pokemon here and there. But yeah, I think like the highlight for sure was definitely getting the Mischief. And then I
thought you were gonna say Phanpy.
Phanpy was also really cute. Like Phanpy. But yeah.
Good.
It's so cute. Also Palmy. Palmy's really cute. I was yesterday years old when I found out it had like a third evolution.
Oh, you did?
Or sorry, a second evolution, technically speaking. And I was like,
you told me you already knew about that. I was like, oh, you didn't know about the third?
I know that had a first. I know it had an evolution. And it's just a taller, standing up version of Palmy, but there's actually like another version of it.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa. And it evolves differently. It's a friendship type of thing.
I've heard it was like you gotta let it walk with you kind of thing.
Yeah, I assume that's like friendship stuff, but if it's strictly like you need to actually walk with it for a while and then level it up.
It's like 1,000 steps in Let's Go mode.
Yeah, I think so. Which that's doable for sure, but
that's very, very doable.
Mm-hmm.
It's by far like not the worst evolution condition I've ever seen in my life.
I think it's a rather safe choice. Or the safest choice. A lot of the starters, really.
Starters are just straightforward and simple, which I love.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas there are certain evolutions, like a lot of people had problems with the Hisuian evolutions because like a lot of them were very niche.
Yeah.
Some of them were also very creative.
Yeah. I just like the different typings. I appreciate that. I have heard about like the stat distributions on all three of them. Quaxly's final evolution having like a really good like attack base stat. Just kind of like average to below average on everything else.
The only reason I didn't choose Quaxly was because A, I was debating if it was too feminine or not for my taste, and B, Flake Coco just won me over with the way it acts because I love the little derpy behavior. I think it's so cute.
I think it's still relatively derpy in the second form too. Or at least it's like you don't even know what it's thinking in its second form. It just you don't even know what's going on.
He's just a happy boy. He is just a happy boy.
I currently have Florigato. I actually really love the name for it.
Florigato.
But I think the typing for that, and Skelders also kind of suffers it too. Their typing in their final forms can be an issue in the game because the issues with Skeledirge is the same as Hisuian Typhlosion in its game, in the sense that everyone has bite, everyone's got a dark move, and I feel bad for Skeledirge for that because I think Fire Ghost is legit.
As long as your defense stats are good, you should be fine.
Yeah, okay.
Because like I've had other Pokemon do bite on me. Yeah, it hurts, but it doesn't hurt. It hasn't hurt my Skeledirge enough to where I've been like, oh, this is a problem.
Oh, okay. I think for my Pokemon, yeah, it will it's super fast, so that's great.
I
don't
even know what nature my Skeledirge is.
Really? Mine's I I think it's serious nature, so it's just neutral around. So I was like, that's safe. That's safe. I'll accept that.
Let me check what nature it is right now.
I know. You know what? Sorry, Ibrahim. I didn't even talk about Twitter real quick. It's a quick thing. I also feel bad, but there's just been a mass like number of people quitting on Twitter because of Elon Musk. I don't know too many details about it. I just saw it one night that it was just rip Twitter, RIP Twitter, and I was like, whoa, is this it? Michael Jackson, this is it? And okay, that may have been used for the wrong context. I apologize for that. But Twitter just possibly going down. Possibly, I don't think so. But of course, it is powered by those who like operate behind the scenes for it. All I can say is that Twitter's is a great source for just simply like checking in on what the latest thing is, a la the nature of Twitter, or hence the nature of Twitter. But sorry,
media news site at this point.
I'm sorry, Mark. I couldn't quite hear that.
The media news site at this point.
Yeah, but I think Twitter will still kind of be around, but you know, I think there is a possibility for sure that Twitter might just like fall along with some other social media places. Like we're old enough that we've seen that kind of stuff happen before our eyes. So if it happens, it happens, and then another like platform will just take its place naturally. So I don't think a lot of people have.
It's hardy nature.
It's neutral then.
Is that good or bad?
It's safe. It's safe, bruh.
I'll take it.
Which means it doesn't get buffs, but doesn't get any like downsides to it.
Perfectly balanced, as all things should be.
All things should be. Because the worst thing you could possibly ever see is Squirtle with like, if anything, what is it, a jolly nature or something like that, where you see like the buff in speed and a negative of application towards special attack or whatever like that, whatever that nature would be, because it's fast. There is something to it, but you lose a lot of like the benefits of that Pokemon's like stat distribution because of that. Which is why I was like, listen, if my cat loses any type of thing due to its nature being a detriment to attack or speed, I will open up these packs right here and there. Thankfully, it wasn't. So I was like, I'm safe. Thank goodness. But when you're playing through the base game, you won't be able to like distribute EV values like that well. You'll be balanced off, and I think that's fair. That gives you general bulk. But you won't be like min-maxing anything. So I think neutral nature works totally fine in just like a standard like play of it. And then like if you really want to raise one with like good like values all around, that's where the breeding comes in. Lots and lots of breeding. Although I will say, I think that the raid battles, I think you'll see that in this game too. But I was talking about Sword and Shield. They did a great job in just making that a little bit easier. You have Pokemon in there that have like, especially for the 5 stars, have like max IV places here and there, and then you just throw a mint on them as far as changing their how their stats look like depending on their nature, and you're good to go.
And that's how you make up for the starters' problems. To shoot mints.
That's true. Also, I'm pretty sure bottle caps will be a thing too, because bottle caps are the ones that kind of like unlock like your IV values up to like the max, because that's an interesting thing, because you have your natures, but you also have like IV values which are completely invisible until you get the judge function, which you don't really get in most Pokemon games these days unless you finish a lot of stuff like
you played the game.
Like playing the game. In this case, in Scarlet and Violet, it's confirmed. that you won't get the judge function until you clear out all 3 like mainline quests and possibly anything that happens after that.
We all know what happens after that.
We don't know what happens. You have sex. What?
About time.
That's hot.
That's hot. That's hot.
But yeah, no. My favorite thing sometimes is to check and have the judge function for your starter Pokemon, just to see like what were they really at. And most of the times you're just kind of impressed. You're like, wow, I actually can't believe it.
I made it this far.
I can't believe you got this far, my dude. Congrats.
I don't know. I didn't think I'd get this far.
I don't know. I didn't. I don't know. I didn't expect myself to get this far. But yeah, I don't really try to pay too much attention on like IVs. Moreover, like natures, especially those that hurt like the offensive side of things or the speed. I'm like, oh, this sucks.
To be fair, you're gonna want to keep some defense too, so you don't just die to everything.
That's true. Like, yeah, we pretty much got the same source in the sense that like for Skeletor, a little bit of speed like goes a long way for that one.
Yep, considering his signature move just boosts his special attack.
Yeah, so I really like the signature moves on every single one of them.
Whack a ball, legit. It's like she's got Mega Blaziken's ability in a move.
Like in the form of like a speed boost, right? Like
every time she uses it, she gets that. He or she uses it, they get faster.
Okay. Oh, you know what? Yeah, Blaziken has like the special ability speed boost. But it hit in like, what was it? Like the signature move hits pretty hard, right? It's kind of like a close combat without the detriments.
With the Quack balls.
Yeah, Aqua Step.
Yeah, it's honest. It sounds like Brave Bird, but minus the impact damage.
Oh, okay, got you. And then what was it? Miascarada, I believe.
Miascarada.
Oh yes. Has a move that always crits, so it bypasses it bypasses any defensive buffs to it. So.
And it crits 100% of the time.
100% time. There was another move that also does that. I think it was Freeze Dry.
There's a couple of new moves in this generation.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, that's actually really cool. So I think I'll definitely have like much more to say about that one once I actually get that form. But I'm really looking forward to seeing like the Titan Pokemon. Like we've seen Cloth, but there's the other ones as well. I am privy to like one specific one in relationship to like Salamence, or very related to it, and I'm like, this looks metal. I want it.
Oh, the which one?
The
regular or Paradox?
I think the Paradox one.
Yeah, I guess I'll have to get you that bit.
Yeah, I'm like, this looks so cool.
Scarlet exclusive.
Oh, wait, was it? I thought it was the other way around.
No, Paradox Salamence is Scarlet exclusive.
Oh, ooh, interesting. Okay, that might have something else.
Like an ancient version of a Salamence.
Oh, you know what? That makes sense. Yeah, I guess it wouldn't make sense. Oh, yeah, in that case. Oh, I believe then it's Tyranitar that I would have. Maybe not in that specific area, but like, I get the Paradox version of that one. And I actually have not seen that one. I've not seen that one. I can't wait to see it.
You haven't seen it?
I have not seen it.
You haven't seen Mecha Godzilla?
No, I have not. I have not seen Mecha Gojira yet. I think it's gonna be super cool. I think I want to just kind of leave that one alone for a little bit as far as like taking a peek at that. Definitely want to just see it for myself for sure.
You've seen Cave Puff?
Have I seen what?
You've seen Cave Puff?
Cave Puff? No.
That's what I call the paradox Jigglypuff Cave Puff.
Ooh, interesting. Okay. Yeah, I guess like for Violet, I'll just be seeing all the futuristic versions, which is gonna be interesting.
Yo, I'm from the future. I know I'm from the past.
Yeah. When worlds collide.
You can't hide.
I forgot about that. You can run, but you cannot hide.
But you cannot hide. You can run. But you cannot hide.
Hey, break stance.
I fucking love KB the Caveman.
When worlds collide.
When worlds collide.
Yeah, so all I can say right now is that Scarlet and Violet, despite the performance stuff, like when you look kind of past that, you kind of focus on like just the core experience of like going around and seeing like new mons, some of familiar ones, and just like how you decide to engage with like all of it. It's very special. It's been really fun. I look at something, I'm like, okay, how do I want to like approach this? Obviously, I want to catch it. So I'll just sneak up behind it and then just start the battle with it spooked and then see, like, currently I'm in like the early game, so I can still catch a lot of mons and have like a really good catch rate. That won't really happen a lot later on, but I'm just taking advantage of it now.
Well, with each badge you get, it'll like up the level of what's easy to catch by 10.
Really? Oh, okay.
Like, I'll make Pokemon like say level 10, 20, 30, 40 as we go on.
So like 40 Pokemon can get to a point where you can catch it with a Pokeball and you don't have to worry about that.
Like, it's not a guaranteed 100% catch, but it's pretty much like you can catch it without smacking it.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Which I have been managing to do.
That's nice, because I figured that if you have to take the time to like weaken them and then catch it, granted there's only like 400 registered Pokemon in this one too.
Only 103 there too.
Well, I mean like as a total whole, but if you want to like recatch them all again, it would probably take just as much or possibly less time than maybe like Sword and Shield, just because of just how open the world is.
You don't have to worry about transitioning.
Yeah. I like that it's much more. I like how the game is much more streamlined. There's far less time.
It really is seamless.
You spend a lot less time in text boxes unless you're talking to Nimona.
Like, I was surprised how seamless it was, because like I was expecting there to be a transition in the cave. There wasn't.
And when there's times where you have to talk to people or like have battles, it's very minimal as far as like how like you're shifting over things. You have to obviously get everyone situated, like positioned correctly, but once you finish the battle, sometimes they don't even zoom in on the trainer that you're fighting. You just get the money like on the side and then you're just free to go. And like,
Yep, it's like, all right, you did it.
Like, you did it. Here's your money. I'm like, nice. And that's just me like in the early hours of the game so far. Mark's a lot further in for sure. So I guess like
I've only got like one Titan left. I've only got like two stars left, and then I've only got like over half the badges.
Okay, fair.
So I am moving around at the speed of a moderately paced sound.
Move around at a moderate pace.
Moving around at a moderately paced sound.
Mm-hmm. That's good. Have you I guess it depends on each person, but has your like sense of discovery like changed at all? Like, or is it all still like fresh and brand new each time you like hop into like another area? Like just a whole bunch of, does like the feeling kind of stay consistent?
Like constant, like I think the the feeling of you never know where the items are gonna be.
Yeah.
Like, you always gotta just keep to look around and also see what you can go on. Because like I was like, oh, I can go up this staircase that leads all the way up this tower. That's cool.
Oh yeah.
I was like, wow, that's pretty fun.
Have you done the Terra raid battles yet?
I haven't touched it yet.
Okay, because I've been like interested.
Wild Terra Pokemon.
Fair enough. I came across like a Diglett, and I was like, nice. I didn't recognize what it was. It was like this diamond shaped thing is sitting on top of it. I was like, that looks kind of cool. It looks like it's relatively the same. So I caught it and I checked and it was rock type. I was like, this is useless. Maybe except for ice types, but still.
Oh wait, you just saw that it was a Diglett that had the Terra thing on top of it. You broke it off and caught it, and then said, "Oh, it's a Terra Pokemon."
No, I knew it was a Terra Pokemon just because of that. But I was like, I wonder what typing it was. I don't know. I don't recognize this one yet. And I caught it and I realized it's a Terra like rock type. I was like, they share a lot of weaknesses.
Oh, hold on, wife calling.
Oh, okay. She's saying no shot. Still ain't no way. Also, you can see me too. See, this is the downside of using Discord. If you're listening to the podcast, it doesn't really make much of a difference. But now I inhabited 2 screens now. It's great. Yeah. The power of Discord. You know what? I think if there was an improvement on Discord, as far as the integration with OBS, I feel like this would be one of those things that they could work on. Is like make each camera like an actual source. Depending on your placement, it's still up to you, but you know. But yeah, you can actually see me like you can see mirror B side of me. That's wild, bruh. You can see Kirby. You see the E-Tank. You see me with much. Oh, I guess it's more zoomed in. I guess that's what was going on. But yeah, no. Talking a little bit more about Pokemon as far as like what's done for me so far. This is not really big news because I still gotta plan it out, but I need to start making like more content relating to like Scarlet and Violet pronto. That TikTok I was talking about, it's still like building, it's still growing, and I'm like, whoa, I have ideas of what I want to do with it. But man, dude, it's got 500,000 like views. Like the followership is increased exponentially. My favorite thing though is the fact that a lot of people are just commenting on it. Like they are just talking about like their experiences with it. Obviously there's some naysayers here. There's other people who are just saying like, you know, you're better off just kind of like not doing the sequence break and just following it through so you can even just hop across that sequence or that gap, sorry. And like I see a lot more about people just having their experience and just being shocked or amazed. I've seen some people talk about how they got shinies that's in this way, and I was like, oh, this is so sick. I love this like engagement about it. That's the best part about video games, actually, and the new ones especially. The fact that you don't really know exactly what you're doing. Oh, Mark's back.
Yeah.
Did she say no shot?
No, you just asked me what for dinner.
Okay, got you. Because it's starting to get closer to that time, huh?
Yeah.
I was talking about how like that TikTok of mine has actually fostered a lot of like communication like amongst people like in the comment section, and
You started a movement.
Yeah, I created like a little tight community as a result, and I was like, it's one of the coolest things actually, just being able to see that kind of unfold. And I think that's better fostered with the fact that this is a brand new game. Unless you're really following like guides out there, you really don't know what you're doing. So like the fact that people share their experience, like, oh, I don't know where to go from here, like, oh, you just have to follow it like this way, or them talking about their experience, like, I actually found this over here, I found shiny over here, or I saw this Salazzle, I got my butt whooped by it, and I was like, I knew it, I saw it, I didn't battle it, but I knew it was trouble. That kind of like bit of discourse, I really like that, so I'm gonna try to foster that as much as I can, and we'll see how that plays out. But that was all I wanted to talk about as far as like the personal like impact it's had on me so far, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. But yeah, I think that's pretty much everything. Quick question, Mark, if you can actually respond, have you set up that PC yet? I think you might be doing that like offhand as well, but just checking in. I know Nye and I were like teasing about that. We talked about it earlier, but we were teasing it. We're like, ooh, you all right? You with it? But yeah. Uh-oh. I shouldn't have seen that. Although I guess I'm not as like directly impacted, but if anyone's following the Black Friday stuff or just sales in general, I just saw this about the Halo Infinite Elite Series 2 controller being on sale. It's kind of expensive though, so yeah, just be careful about that. I think it's the exact same price as like a decorative like custom like design lab controller, possibly. Oh, actually, I don't think it's available anymore. All right, that saved me a little bit. I was curious about that. A Design Labs Elite Series 2 controller, but they get really expensive. So, yeah, no. I think I'd rather like source all my stuff towards like a pro controller for like the PlayStation 5, because I'm just really curious about like how it like really functions. I feel like when I'm going through God of War Ragnarok, there's a lot of times where I'm just moving the camera, not just to aim, but just simply to see characters moving across my screen. A lot of the enemies just simply like hop between like points, whether in front of me and then going behind me, and I end up having to like take the time to move my character around or move Kratos around to see them. I also noticed the fact that like I will have to change weapons, and it's not comfortable to change it on that D-pad because you have to move yourself up. You have to take your finger away from like the left stick, which is you moving around, avoiding like hazards and whatnot. So if I had the Pro Controller, it'd be really nice to move around with that. But yeah, I'm not at that point though where I can really use a keyboard to do the same thing. I end up like pressing the wrong keys. But I will say the PC does provide a lot of like flexibility as far as like, or accessibility towards like shortcutting things. I noticed that with Sea of Thieves and whatnot. But yeah. So I think that's pretty much everything. I'm just kind of like looking through, seeing any type of stuff. I'm also just kind of checking on TikTok as well, just to see how that's doing. Still growing. It's wild. The engagement is crazy. So gotta do what I can. I will also say as an update. Oh, sorry guys. I'm not sure if you saw that. I don't think you guys will, unless you're really like not like watching, you're just kind of listening. Understandable. But I've been working towards this. I got this portrait mode going, right? I'll go and click it on right now. That when I'm gonna start doing like more like computer, like more like hands-on like recording in a portrait mode, so it just kind of fits a lot better whenever I export over onto my phone. So I'll be recording things as if I'm like doing it from my phone, just in a portrait format type of thing. Oh, but Mark, I hear that you're hopping in. Just wanted to ask about how the PC is looking so far. Have you already set it up?
I'm probably gonna get my brother-in-law to come by, give me a hand with it.
Oh, really? Is it in pieces or?
It's not in pieces. It's just that he knows better about setting this stuff up than I do.
Oh, all right. Fair enough. Yeah. All right, Mark. I think that's everything. Is there anything else you want to add before we head off?
Anything else that I wanted to add?
Mm-hmm.
New series and Shonen Jumps are coming out in the next 2 to 3 issues. Like we already got a new one. We have another new one I think coming up in tomorrow's issue, or the one after that. So keep your eyes out.
Okay. It's Stick Fight Island 2.
Stick Fight Island 2.
Let's go, bruh. You ain't ready.
Lego.
Lego. Vamos. Oh no. Bruh.
You ain't ready for the tournament arc in Dick Fight Island.
known as. But yeah, alrighty. I guess we'll go ahead and call it here. So thank you guys so much for tuning in for this episode of DangIT Prodcast. This has been episode 435. My name is Justin. Mark? That's Mark. And thanks for watching, everybody. Hashtag bye, everybody. Take care. And for those who are watching this live, I'll see you guys later tonight. Pokemon first. God of War afterwards. Yeah. All right. Bye, everybody.